India is a nation of cinephiles, where cinema is more than just a pastime. It's a cultural heartbeat. With over 1,500 movies produced every year, cinema isn't just entertainment, it's an obsession. And in August 1984, this obsession reached new heights in Kerala, where something truly unprecedented was about to transform how Indians experienced movies. As the monsoon rains poured relentlessly, crowds lined up outside theaters, clutching tickets and a particular pair of glasses they had never seen before. For the first time ever, audiences were handed these strange glasses before entering the cinema hall. As everyone settled in their seats wearing the plasticky frames with red and blue lenses, the lights dimmed and the film began. On the screen, three men approached an eerie ancient temple cloaked in mystery. The scene was tense, the atmosphere heavy. Then suddenly, temple bells began to sway. Moments later, they broke free, hurtling out of the screen. Gasps echoed through the hall as people instinctively ducked, some shielding themselves with their hands. It took a moment for the truth to sink in. The bells weren't real. This was the 3D effect boldly advertised on the posters of My Dear Kuttichathan. Indian cinema had officially entered the third dimension. So grab your 3D glasses and let's dive in. Hello and welcome to A Century of Stories India, brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank, always you first. I'm your host Kunal and today we're adding a whole new dimension to our episode by traveling back to the 1980s to unravel the fascinating story behind India's very first 3D film, My Dear Kuttichathan. This groundbreaking film brought 3D technology to India and became one of the country's first pan-Indian sensations, blending innovation with captivating storytelling. It set the stage for visual spectacles like RRR and Bahubali with its brave vision. At the time, the idea of creating a 3D film in India seemed almost impossible. Technology was limited and 3D filmmaking was something people had only heard of but not experienced. For the visionary director Jijo Punnus, this was a challenge worth taking. Inspired by the Hollywood film Jaws 3D and a constant drive to create something different, Jijo dreamt of bringing 3D to Indian audiences. He was no stranger to innovation. His father, Navodaya Appachan, had already introduced groundbreaking cinema to Kerala. Navodaya Appachan produced the first CinemaScope film in Malayalam, Thachodi Ambu, and the first 70mm film in South India, Padayottam. But even Appachan was skeptical when Jijo proposed a 3D film. Eventually convinced of his son's determination, Appachan gave the green light. And the journey began. Now, think about it, okay? Creating My Dear Kuttichathan meant bringing in technology and expertise from the United States. Jijo traveled to the US to learn about 3D filmmaking and brought back 100 feet of the 3D version of Jaws and special glasses to study the technique. He worked very closely with Chris Condon, a pioneer in 3D technology. Now, Chris not only sold him the specialized twin-lens cameras, but also traveled with Jijo to India to help with the production. Jijo and his team underwent rigorous training to master this technology, along with his own cinematographers, Ashok Kumar and KP Nambiathri, learning to use the equipment under Chris's guidance. Every frame had to be precise. The lighting, the angles, the movement, all meticulously planned to create this perfect 3D effect. Now, what was the next step? That's right. Even the theaters and cinema halls had to be modified. Special lenses were installed on the projectors, and the screens were coated with a silver solution to reflect the polarized light. Glasses with Polaroid gelatin lenses were manufactured locally, for which the material was imported from the US. But beyond the technical marvel, My Dear Kuttichathan told an enchanting story. The film followed three kids who discovered a mischievous spirit trapped in a magical bottle. Together, they embarked on adventures that were both thrilling and heartwarming, also teaching lessons about courage, friendship, and kindness. The 3D effects were seamlessly woven into the narrative, from boulders rolling towards the audience to bubbles floating in midair. Kuttichathan's antiques seemed to spill off the screen. Every moment was designed to immerse the viewers. When My Dear Kuttichathan premiered on August 24, 1984, it was an instant sensation. Theatres across Kerala were packed with audiences, all donning their 3D glasses in awe. To introduce audiences to this concept, the film began with short pre-recorded intro videos by stars like Amitabh Bachchan and Rajinikanth, as well as the state's chief minister, adding to all the excitement. Children were mesmerized by the fantasy elements, while adults marveled at the technical brilliance. The film grossed over 2.5 crore rupees. In those days, that's almost 10 crore in today's day. It became a massive success. And then, 14 years later, in 1998, My Dear Kuttichathan was re-released as Chota Chetan in Hindi, with updated scenes, effects, and the addition of Bollywood star Urmila Matondkar. Today, the legacy of My Dear Kuttichathan endures as a cultural milestone. It wasn't just India's first 3D film. It was a testament to the power of dreaming big and embracing innovation. The foundation laid by this pioneering film remains evident, a reminder that sometimes all it takes is a bold idea and the courage to see it through. You are watching A Century of Stories India, brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank. Always you first. I'm Kunal, and I'll bring you a milestone moment from India's history every week. So come back next week for yet another one. And now it's time for safe banking tips from IDFC FIRST Bank. Did you know cyber criminals are now deploying tactics to get you to download malicious apps on your phone? These could steal your personal data and compromise your device's security. One easy way to prevent this is to only download apps from official app stores. Do not click on any unverified links. Keep your phone settings updated and install anti-malware software on your phone.
IVM